I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Great Scott!
I'm Jeremy Croft with the Joe Blow Movie Network, here with another Joe Blow tribute video.
It works! I finally invent something that works!
If you grew up in the 80s, this is the Holy Grail. A timeless classic that's instantly quotable, endlessly rewatchable, and has impacted generations of film fans, not to mention tons of filmmakers. I'm of course talking about Back to the Future. Welcome to the Joe Blow Back to the Future 30th Anniversary Tribute Video. Released in theaters on July 3rd, 1985, Back to the Future was an instant hit with both critics and audiences, becoming the top film of the box office that year. The idea behind the film is simple but brilliant. What would happen if you went back in time and met your parents in high school?
You're my mom.
My name is Lorraine.
That's the idea that screenwriter Bob Gale had when he discovered his father's old high school yearbook while on a visit to St. Louis. He pitched the idea to his old friend and filmmaking partner, Rob Zemeckis, and the two were off, penning one of the most inventive and just plain amazing screenplays of all time. Back to the Future tells the story of Marty McFly, a high school student accidentally transported back in time with the help of a tricked-out DeLorean and a crazy scientist, Dr. Emmett Brown, or Doc for short. The year Marty travels back to? 1955, the year his parents first met. Cue time travel paradoxes. His mom falls in love with him, his parents don't go out, and before you know it, Marty's at risk of never being born. It's up to Marty to save his parents, save his own life, and find a way back to the future. In sending Marty back to 1955, the script brilliantly places our hero in the midst of one of the most significant cultural eras. This was the rise of the American teenager as a major cultural element. It was smack dab in the middle of the baby boomer generation, suburban expansion, and the birth of rock and roll. All elements that play a role in the film. Back to the Future is filled with tons of great visual sight gags, but among the most memorable is the tricked-out DeLorean.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
As iconic as it is now, the original script didn't feature a time-traveling car at all. In the first two drafts, it was simply a time-traveling apparatus. The DeLorean was decided upon to help facilitate the alien gag midway through the film. Bob Zemeckis felt it would be more believable if the time-traveling device looked like an actual UFO. That whole clock tower sequence, that was missing too. It was all supposed to revolve around nuclear radiation and some other complicated stuff. It was all deemed too expensive by the studio, so Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale simplified things significantly. In doing so, they gave us two of the most memorable images in film history. It's hard to believe now, but production on Back to the Future was kind of a nightmare. Michael J. Fox was the first choice to play Marty, but he rejected the role due to his commitments to the TV show Family Ties. The film began production with Eric Stoltz in the lead role, but 4 weeks into production, something just wasn't right. Stoltz was too serious and was recast midway through filming, setting the production back significantly and adding $3 million to the budget. Michael J. Fox's schedule opened up in January 1985, and the camera started rolling again. Fox would shoot Family Ties during the day and film Back to the Future all night, sometimes working until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Another key element to the success of Back to the Future? Christopher Lloyd as Doc. Do you ever wonder why Doc had that hunch in the film? It was so Lloyd, over 6 feet tall, was closer in height to Michael J. Fox, who was only 5'5".
I can't be stuck here. I got a life in 1985.
Crispin Glover and Leah Thompson round out the cast as Marty's parents, George and Lorraine McFly. The film was originally set to be released in August of 1985, but it was so well received by test audiences that the release date was pushed forward to the July 4th holiday. 9.5 weeks after production wrapped, the film was in theaters. That's one of the fastest post-production turnarounds in history. The film opened to number 1, and the legs on this thing were insane. Back to the Future spent a jaw-dropping 11 weeks in the number 1 spot at the box office, something that's pretty much unheard of in this day and age.
Flux capacitor, fluxing, engine running. All right.
Audiences went wild for the film, and it's not hard to see why. The movie is perfect. The script is airtight, the cast is incredible, and the special effects, still top-notch. It's inventive, it's funny, and an all-around crowd pleaser. Back to the Future captured the imagination of an entire generation. The theme of empowerment and control over one's destiny appealed to all viewers, regardless of age or background. On top of that, Back to the Future also sports a kick-ass soundtrack. Composer Alan Silvestri hit it out of the park with his epic score, one of the most memorable of his entire career. And it's impossible to imagine the film without the 2 Huey Lewis and the News songs, Power of Love and Back in Time. Back to the Future was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Original Screenplay, but only took home 1 award for Best Sound Effect. It was the Academy's loss. The film has surpassed almost every other film released that year to become one of the true cinematic classics of all time. There's even a Back to the Future musical in the works, set to hit the stage at London's West End in 2016, with Rob Zemeckis and Bob Gale taking on writing duties, and Alan Silvestri writing the score. There's not much left to really say about Back to the Future. It's one of the all-time greats. Screenings of this film take place all across the country every single month. And I'm pretty confident in saying that as long as people watch movies, people will be watching Back to the Future. So, here's to you, Back to the Future. We love you. For the Joe Blow Movie Network, I'm Jeremy Croft.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.